what he wants for this country. We are going to work tirelessly to ensure that we accomplish that objective of securing our country.
National security tops agenda as President Tinubu holds first meeting with National Security Advisor and Service Chiefs.
Will be fully constituted to discharge its constitutional mandate.
10th National Assembly reconvenes this week, sets agenda on priority areas. And INEC opens defense before the presidential election petition court. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. I'm Cyril Stober in Abuja. Michael Olale will join us from Lagos. President Bola Tinubu has met with the National Security Advisor, Service Chiefs, and the Inspector General of Police for the first time. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Usman Jibrila reports on this and other engagements of the President.
This is the first meeting of the President with the security heads since their appointment. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, said the meeting was to thank the President for appointing them and assured the nation of ending all forms of security challenges.
We know what he wants for this country. We are going to work tirelessly to ensure that we accomplish that objective of securing our country, establishing peace, stability, and let's get our lives back. He gave us the assurance that he is with us 100%. He told us that we must work as a team and there is a work to be done. He will expect us to deliver, and we are grateful for the opportunity.
In another development, President Bola Tinubu has assured the business community of his government's commitment to policy consistency and better business climate to attract investment. The President was speaking when he received the delegation of the Shell Petroleum Development Company, led by the Global Upstream Director. President Tinubu welcomed the SPDC's offer for more investment in the oil and gas industry, assuring the Shell management and other investors of his administration's willingness to maintain an open-door policy towards addressing their concerns. The President also assured that his government was removing all forms of bottlenecks in order to ensure Nigeria becomes an attractive investment destination. The SPDC Director, Ms. Zhu, applauded what she described as incredibly strong start of the Tinubu presidency and expressed optimism that the bold steps taken by the government will renew Nigeria's pride of place as an investment destination. She said Nigeria remains a strategic investment country for the company in view of the long history between the two entities and the prospects held by the country's oil and gas sector. The President also received in audience former Zamfara State Governor Ahmed Sani Yarima Bakura.
I think this is a very good beginning, and I'm sure all we need from Nigerians are prayers and patience. I'm sure by the grace of God, the President will be very successful.
From the State House, Abdurrahman Usman Jibrila, NTA News.
The United Kingdom has expressed commitment to supporting the Multinational Joint Task Force, MNJTF, in achieving its mandate. This was revealed during a visit to the headquarters of MNJTF by British Defence Advisor for Nigeria, Brigadier General Matt Munro, who promised Britain's resolve to enhance its strategic partnership with the multinational coalition, noting the crucial role played by the task force towards ensuring regional security and stability. The British Defence Advisor expressed optimism for the future, voicing confidence that the UK's backing will facilitate pivotal advancements for the MNJTF, ranging from meticulous planning to proficient execution of operations. The Force Commander, Major General Gul Chibuisi, who was represented by the Deputy Force Commander, Brigadier General Asolai Blama, expressed gratitude to the British government for the support through coordination and liaison to MNJTF, a key conduit for the strategic partnership towards achieving peace in the region. The legislative agenda of the 10th Assembly is in the works as both the Senate and House of Representatives reconvene after a 2-week recess. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports on the likely areas of focus as the lawmakers resume plenary this week.
Shortly after inauguration, June 13, 2023, Nigeria's bicameral legislature passed information to the executive and other parliamentary bodies on the composition of the 10th Assembly. The two chambers thereafter set up committees to allot seats and offices, after which the lawmakers proceeded on a 2-week break. As the Senate and House of Representatives reconvene Tuesday, both chambers will be preoccupied with formation of leadership as Nigerians await the names of lawmakers to occupy the front row seats at plenary as majority and minority leaders. Expectedly, the leadership will be engaged with the constitution of standing committees
so that the Senate will be fully constituted to discharge its constitutional mandate of oversight over ministries, departments, and agencies.
Following the appointment of service chiefs, the Senate and House of Representatives will, in line with constitutional provisions, conduct screening for approval of those appointments. In view of the provisions of the 5th Constitution amendments, the President is expected to submit the list of ministerial nominees to the Senate before the end of July 2023. Meanwhile, both chambers have expressed willingness to work with President Bola Tinubu on the economic policies rolled out since his assumption of office for the benefit of Nigerians.
Our main focus is to see how we can support the executive led by the presidents, Asiwaju, Tinubu, to see how we can recover the economy. The moment we recover the economy, I can assure you that both our constituents and the general public are going to really enjoy the new government.
Some issues may roll over from the 9th to the 10th Assembly, key among which are the issues of women inclusion and constitutional amendments.
Unless we take deliberate steps and think out of the box by way of constitutional amendment to create special seats for women with a view to bringing them into the governance structure of this country. As you can see, women constitute about 50% of our population, and we cannot afford to relegate them to the background.
In the meantime, other legislative staff are bracing up for the resumption of the two chambers with necessary preparations. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, has assured the People's Republic of China of Nigeria's commitment to sustaining bilateral relations for enhanced socio-economic development of both countries. The SGF stated this when he received the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Chui Jiangchun, and his delegation in his office.
Nigeria and the People's Republic of China have a long-standing mutual bilateral relations. With a new administration in place, the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Chui Jiangchun, has presented to the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, a blueprint in the areas of cooperation for the development of the country for mutual benefits. With the documents in hand, the SGF pointed to strong bilateral ties with China in areas of infrastructure, trade, agriculture, education, amongst others, and solicits more foreign direct investments in the country to enable the present administration accomplish its renewed hope agenda.
We have a huge market potential which can be tapped into very meaningfully and purposefully by your own business group. And so any assistance you are given, I believe you step it up because of the desire of the present government to do a lot more. we will be expecting support from you from time to time. We appreciate the fact that you are giving scholarship to our students. They're studying in various universities in the People's Republic of China.
I want to highlight security here. We know this is not only the challenge for Nigerian people and Nigerian government. We believe that this is also the interest of the international community, especially for Chinese community here. So we need to restructure not only economy, but not a social society. We think that structure, if we change it, that we can get different energy.
The developmental strategy document presented by the Chinese ambassador is designed to cover infrastructure, ICT, industrialization, investment, security, technology, agriculture, amongst other areas. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party has met with members of the party's caucus and the Senate. At the meeting, the importance of a virile and stable opposition in the Senate and indeed the National Assembly was emphasized. The caucus assured that it will play that important role in the defense of democracy, the interest and well-being of Nigerians. The meeting condemned in its entirety the alleged moves in some quarters to meddle with the affairs of the minority with regards to the emergence of the minority leadership, which is an exclusive preserve of the minority caucus as expressly stipulated by constitutional provisions and standing rules of the Senate. PDP and the senators continue with consultations on the emergence of the minority leadership in the Senate and are resolved to collectively present a unified leadership after due and conclusive considerations. Consequently, the meeting resolved that the PDP NWC communicates to the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, on the ongoing consultation in the minority caucus to the effect that the nominations into the minority leadership positions in the Senate have not been concluded, and that upon conclusion, the nominated list will be formally conveyed to him appropriately for necessary action. Search and rescue operation is currently ongoing by disaster and emergency responders following the collapse of a 4-story building at Dape Life Camp, Abuja. Our correspondent, Onotu Yakubu, who is currently at the collapsed building, reports that the disaster occurred midday today. Reports indicate that an unspecified number of people, majority of whom are site workers, are currently trapped under the rubble of the collapsed building. However, the FCT Emergency Management Agency confirmed that 5 persons have been rescued and hurt as emergency workers strive to ascertain the status of other victims that may be trapped under the rubble. And let's go over now and link up with correspondent Onotu Yakubu, who's right there. Onotu Yakubu, what can you tell us? What are the updates you can give us at this point in time?
Well, one thing I can confirm authoritatively is that earlier when we came up to break the news of this unfortunate incident here in Cafe District in Life Camp area of the FCT, 5 victims that were trapped under the rubbles of the collapsed 4-story building had been rescued then. But another thing I can confirm authoritatively now from the authorities around me here is that the number of rescued victims from the disaster have risen to 9. 9 of them have been officially rescued by the search and rescue team, and of course, to ensure that all is well at the end of the day, at the end of the operation, the equipment here are on overdrive to ensure to dig through the rubbles of the collapsed structure here to the foundation of the building to ensure that no victim of the disaster is trapped under the rubbles. And the operation has been ongoing for over several hours now, and that is the situation as so far so good for now.
Well, it may not be easy to ascertain the number of people who were in the building at the time it collapsed, but you do say in your earlier report that most of them are believed to be those who are working on site. Would you know if the companies or the individuals who have the business of putting people to work, they have had a roll call of some sorts?
I've not been able to establish so far to know who owns the structure here, but I have with me here the Director of Forecast Response and Mitigation of the FCT Emergency Management Agency to speak to me. Mark, have we been able to establish the owner of this structure that caused this unfortunate incident here?
Yeah, at this point in time, it's not the issue of the owner. All we need to do here is to make sure we rescue the victims that were in the structure. So the issue of knowing who has the structure does not come up. All we need to do here is to save lives. And so far, we were able to rescue 9 people, 3 were in the hospital and they're out, and 6 of them are safe. They are here within us. They are not far from here. That was a good thing about the whole thing. So we have an eyewitness here who was with them, and he has spoken to us.
Before I talk to the witness and also a victim, this operation has been ongoing for hours now. Are there plans to sustain this all through the night, or is there going to be a break?
Yes, the operation started some few minutes after 3. And when we received the distress call, what we did was we activated all our stakeholders. We are all here. We are FCT Emergency Management Agency, Development Control, NEMA, FCT Fire Service, Federal Fire Service, Civil Defense, and Nigerian Police Force. We are all here, and we join hands together. And we have the Department of Engineering who activated our partners in the private sector who came down. You can see the heavy-duty equipments that are working right away. Operation is ongoing. We are not closing the operations until we get to the bottom of this structure to make sure nobody is trapped under the building, and that's the most important thing. Operation is ongoing.
Thank you very much. I also have with me Nora, who is one of the site engineer, the supervisor of the laborers that were working here when this building collapsed. Now, Nora, can you tell me, have you been able to account for all the laborers you brought here to work? What is the situation with you?
My name is Nuhu Dalhatu. So I brought about 29 laborers, so I'm working with them before this building fall down. But
so far, what is their situation? Have you been able to confirm that all of them are with you?
Yes. All of them, they are all right, they are fine. And some wounded, about 8 to 9 people, I take them to the hospital, and they are already discharged them.
Thank you very much, No. Well, that is the situation as we speak. The operation is still ongoing of course, as we've confirmed from the rescue team here. It is going to be an all-night operation to ensure that they get to the bottom of the structure here to confirm that nobody is trapped beneath the rubble of the collapsed building. That is the situation for now.
All right, thank you very much, Onotu Yakubu. We'll keep an eye on that to see if more people will be rescued from that collapsed building. Thank you, Onotu, and stay safe. Well, 3 people lost their lives and 6 were injured in Arankwara villages of Argungu local government area of Kebbi State during a rainstorm. Many families in Zauro in Burning Kebbi local government area also lost their homes. Abubakar Garba Digi reports that the state deputy governor visited the 2 communities to present relief materials.
Storm hit the 2 communities in Kebbi State over the weekend. At the Alankwara village of Argungu local government, people were thrown into mourning when 3 people were found dead and 6 others wounded after the rain. No life was lost at Zauro in Burning Kebbi, but it is a colossal loss for many families whose rooftops were blown off, destroying properties worth millions of naira. Although the level of destruction is yet to be ascertained, the Kebbi State Deputy Governor Senator Omar Abubakar has moved to identify with the families.
Bring relief materials, such as cement, zinc, wood, nails, and any other materials that people here will require to put to bring back their houses to their normal position.
He condoled with the families of the deceased and pledged that the state government will reconstruct houses destroyed by the rainstorm. On behalf of the governor, he released the sum of 3.5 million naira to the affected families. He called for collaboration with the people to reduce the impact of the rainstorm as predicted by NIMET in Birnin Kebbi. Abubakar Garba Digi, NTA News.
We'll take a break here. The news returns in just a moment. Thanks for staying with us. The Independent National Electoral Commission has closed its case in the petition filed by the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the February 25 presidential election, Atiku Abubakar and his party. INEC, as the first respondent in the matter, in opening its defense, tendered 4 documents and called 1 witness to close its case. Dele Atumbi of our Judiciary Desk reports.
Petition, Atiku Abubakar and his party, the PDP, are the petitioners. Respondents are the Independent National Electoral Commission, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the All Progressives Congress. In support of his petition, Atiku Abubakar and the PDP, as petitioners, called 23 witnesses and tendered several documents. After this development, the petitioners closed their case. At the resumed hearing of the petition, INEC, as the first respondent, opened its defense as the umpire in the conduct of the presidential election in February 25, 2023. INEC, through its counsel, Abubakar Mahmood SAN, tendered the withdrawal letter of the Vice President Kashim Shettima, signifying his intention to withdraw from the contest of Borno Central Senatorial election. The letter was dated 6 July 2022. Mahmood SAN tendered additional 3 documents, including the cloud trail log, which explained the glitches INEC experienced during the conduct of the 2023 election. Counsel to the petitioners, Chris Uche SAN, opposed the admissibility of all the documents tendered. Counsel to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Wole Olanipekun SAN, and APC Counsel Lateef Fagbemi SAN did not oppose the admissibility of all the documents. The Presidential Election Petition Court admitted all the documents in evidence. After the admissibility of the documents by the court, INEC Counsel Abubakar Mahmood SAN called the respondent's witness. Lawrence Bayode, an ICT expert with INEC, adopted his witness statement on oath and urged the court to adopt it as his evidence in chief. During cross-examination by the counsel to President Tinubu, Wole Olanipekun SAN, and counsel to the APC, Lateef Fagbemi SAN, the witness told the court that the presidential election was free, fair, and credible. Bayode equally asserted that the introduction of electronic device in the conduct of the election brought integrity into it. Counsel to the petitioners during cross-examination, Chris Uche SAN, tendered the European Union's observation mission report through the INEC witness. Bayode told the court that he was aware of the report but was not aware of the content. Counsel to all the respondents opposed the admissibility of the documents. Reasons for their objections will be adduced in their final written addresses. However, the Presidential Election Petition Court admitted the document in evidence. With the admissibility of the document, INEC, as the first respondent, closed its case. In the petition of Peter Obi and his party, INEC, as the first respondent, could not open its case due to the absence of its 3 witnesses. The matter was adjourned to Tuesday, 4th July 2023. In the petition of Atiku Abubakar, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is expected to open his defense on 4th July 2023. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
The federal government's commitment to provide an easy access to quality and affordable tertiary education is receiving a boost as more communities hand over landed property to the government. The latest is coming from Akwa Ibom State, where the federal government has formally received landed documents for the establishment of the Federal College of Education Innovation. Clement Barikui reports.
The Federal College of Education Innovations is to be sited at the present Presbyterian Senior Science School, Ididep, in the Ibom local government area. Already, expansion work is ongoing on existing structures, while new ones are to be provided soon. After a tour of the facilities, the delegation says establishing the college in Ididep will bring more development to the area.
I feel very fulfilled. I express my greatest gratitude to His Excellency Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, the former president, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the current president, because the whole exercise has passed through two of them.
The good thing about this particular institution is that the college is going to take off from an existing facility.
High point was the formal handing over of the survey plan and other landed documents to management of the college by the committee set up by the community. Clement Barkui, NTA News.
In line with the Council of Legal Education policy, which seeks to enhance competence of legal practitioners on effective and efficient service delivery, a workshop on the role of legal officers in the defense of public service in Nigeria for NYSC legal officers has held in Abuja. Olain Kauju reports.
In recent times, there has been a lot of irregularities in the NYSC, ranging from forgery of NYSC certificates and that of abscondment.
Another areas of concern is the non-compliance with laid down procedures for data uploads, which has invariably led to the mobilization of unqualified candidates for service.
All these infractions are against the NYSC Act, and it is to explore better ways of taking legal actions against such people and institutions, as well as prevent recurrence, that this workshop is taking place.
You are found guilty by the court can give you 2 years depending on the type of offense, or 3 years, or can give you, that's imprisonment, or an option of fine, or both such imprisonment and fine.
On the issue of civil procedure rules of the Superior Court of Records in Nigeria with regards to the institution and defense of civil actions, former Chief Judge of the Gambia, Emmanuel Fagbenle, explains further.
And to ensure that there is peace and stability, we have been enjoined to ensure that whenever there is any disagreement, the right place to go is the civilized place, which is the court. Because there, the judges are trained to listen to every side, listen to the witnesses, consider the documents relevant, and then come to a decision.
Participants at the workshop are drawn from across the country. Olain Kauju, NTA News.
Residents of Trademore Estate, Lugbe, Abuja have appealed to the Development Control Unit of the FCDA to redirect their thoughts towards fixing the collapsed and failed dam and canals at a later rather than marking their homes for demolition. They maintain that allocation processes and approvals were duly followed. Serafina Okonomekwe reports.
Towards mitigating perennial flooding at the Trademore Estate, Lugbe, Abuja, residents say after a series of interface with developers and the Department of Development Control of the FCDA, all directives and recommendations given them were adhered to when flooding began in 2014. According to them, some of the measures were to demolish all single culverts and construct double box culverts. Other measures including dredging and desilting all canals passing through the Trademore, and to re-erect fallen retaining walls, which they say invariably stopped flooding from 2015 to 2018.
El-Rufai actually, he was the one who apportioned us this place, right? And the developer built and people bought. And the Federal Mortgage Bank, owned by the federal government of Nigeria, is the financier of this estate. Where is the illegality? There is no house in Trademore that needs demolition.
The residents advise that all allottees on the airport road corridor should be recertified, saying the Trademore estate was built in 2007 when Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC, was in charge of allocation, and when the FCDA took over, all allottees were requested for recertification, which the developers did, thereby housing over 250,000 houses. Serafina Okonomekwe, NTA News.
Time to go over to Lagos now and link up with Michael Olale for more news. Michael?
Federal government exploring digital economy to creating more jobs for the teeming youth. Experts in information and communication technology have called on the government to ensure adequate protection for local businesses. They shared this view while the experts expressed this view as they examine the gains of digital economy. Larry Bilay has details.
Digital economy involves economic ventures requiring skills and sales of goods and services to meet specific demands using the internet. One of the renewed Hope Action Plan of President Bola Tinubu is digital economy, with the aim of harnessing the nation's youthful population and ensuring they are gainfully employed.
Before, the only way you could watch this interview is to have a TV, right? But today you can upload this video on YouTube and people would watch it, right? Now you uploading it on YouTube, you start having numbers of followers, right? The more followers you have, the more you might be able to generate some income, right? So that is, digital economy.
With federal government's commitment to making the sector one of its focal points, what expansion possibilities would it have for those already exploring it?
It will expand the opportunity of exports, and in which Nigeria will be in line as a country like US, Indians, who are actually taking the opportunity of digital economy to move their youth forward.
So what you notice is that more employment is created because of the ease of doing business.
Collection, analysis, and use of information to deliver goods and services to clients will require some technical know-how and training.
We conduct trainings in all the 6 geopolitical zones, and during the course of the training, we provide them with laptops, about 100 per geopolitical zone.
ICT experts are urging federal governments to invest in mitigating attendant issues associated with digital economy, such as protection of confidential data of persons doing businesses online, cybersecurity to check activities of fraudsters, and environmental concerns. In Lagos, Larry Bilayi, NTA News.
Beyond military cooperation and synergy, the tradition of port call within the parlance of the Navy has become a vital tool for strengthening friendship and exchanging cultural values. This were highlighted when the Chinese Navy Escort Task Group 162 made a port call to the Nigerian Navy recently. One distinct feature of the recent port visit by the Chinese Navy Escort Task Group 162 to the Western Naval Command in Lagos is the ceremonial display that heralded the arrival of the MSL destroyer Nanning vessel, which is a sharp contrast from previous port calls. The observation here is that although port visitation by navies around the world is a tradition, it however offers a window for fulfilling the mandate of policing the waterways and strengthening diplomatic ties as seen here, in which the Chinese government and people used this platform to express publicly the bilateral relationship enjoyed with Nigeria, while hoping this will be nurtured much longer.
It's for peace. The peace that with Nigeria, China, we can work together, not only for the two countries, not only for the regions, but I think we can make contribution to the international community. And this visit, I do believe that can establish deepen the cooperation between the Navy sectors.
The flag officer commanding at the Western Naval Command believes conveying 700 Chinese delegates to this important maritime engagement with 3 vessels of MSL frigate Soya, supply ship Wanshahu, and MSL destroyer Nanning points to the bond of friendship between the two navies.
They have found Nigeria to be a strategic partner, and all this is in helping us to fight crimes, especially in the Gulf of Guinea.
Nigeria's position in the Gulf of Guinea and its outstanding surveillance of the nation's exclusive economic zone has been attracting visitation and commendations from across the globe. Those are the stories making the rounds in Lagos at this time. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages. The news will be back shortly. Please stay.
Back with the news now. It's time for Nigerian professionals in the financial sector to rise to the economic realities facing the world so that Nigeria would be economically stable. This is the charge by Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya to the National President of the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, ANAN, while on a courtesy visit at Government House, Gombe, as part of the association's activities of annual mandatory continuous professional development. Emmanuel Akila reports.
With the financial aspects of the public sector manned mostly by members of ANAN, Governor Inuwa Yahaya believes that competence and professionalism in financial practices would help reduce tendencies of corruption in public offices in the country, citing example with the budgetary process that has helped inculcate financial discipline among public servants in Gombe State and ensure value for money spent on projects.
The world over, everybody knows that without a prudent and diligent application of financial and human resources, governments and people, organizations whatsoever may not go the way they should, and then a total collapse. Systems will go without the proper application, accounting profession, which ANAN stands for.
ANAN National President said the annual mandatory continuous professional development program is targeted at broadening the knowledge of financial experts across the country.
Much as we sponsor them for local trainees, we also want such sponsors. Because the way you expose your staff and your people, oftentimes at international events. For instance, I went to CPA Islands, I learned a lot. Recently we were in Abuja, we were in Syria, it's so much.
Governor Inuwa Yahaya requests the National President to lead the members on a tour of some projects in the state to assess compliance with principles of accounting practices in the state. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
And it's time to talk business now with Musa Abubakar. Musa.
Thank you, Sarah. The Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency, Smedan, is strengthening partnerships towards addressing the challenges of funds, equipment, workspace, power, and other key requirements for micro, small and medium enterprise (MSMEs) across the country as part of this year's activities to mark World MSMEs Day. Director General of Smedan, Olawale Fasanya, says government through the Common Facilities Center of the agency has procured latest equipment to enable MSMEs become competitive not just in pricing but also in quality. The Common Facility Center have been established in Abuja, Kaduna, Newi and Ikorodu. The agency has also unveiled other programs like the National Business Skills Development Initiative Cluster Support Program, MSMEs Export Facilitation Program and Smedan Talent Hunt, among others, to provide entrepreneurship skills, funding, information and support for MSMEs across the country.
Centers in each of the 774 local government areas to avail the nano and micro enterprises domiciled in such different local governments direct access to information and other services that they need to jumpstart their businesses, because we believe that information is power. So if we have the right information, we can take the right decision. We are also tilting our programs more towards digital transformation. And then we're already talking with some development partners to rejuvenate our innovation hubs in Lagos, in Bauchi, in Kano, and then in these headquarters.
And at the capital market, the equities market began the first trading day of July positive as investors gained 534.01 billion naira. The all-share index climbed 1.61% to close at 61,949.24 basis points. A total turnover of 1.2 billion securities worth 14.03 billion naira were traded in 12,128 deals. Equity capitalization advanced to 33.7 trillion naira. The financial services industry dominated the activity chart at the end of the day's trading session. That's business.
To Ibadan. Hundreds of residents of Ibadan drawn from 5 local government areas have benefited from the medical outreach of the Nigerian Army in continuation of Army Day Celebration 2023. Correspondent Oyeyinka Omole reports.
The historic Makbo Hall in the heart of Ibadan came alive once again as people with different ailments presented themselves for medical examination and treatment at the medical outreach.
And one of the beneficiaries here today is Joe Bamimore. He's a shoemaker and even is into poultry farming.
Government should try for the disabled people. They need wheelchair and then they need training too.
It's so amazing to see a program like this, and thank God. I really appreciate the Nigerian Army and Nigeria entirely.
Chief of Army Staff, Major General Taurid Lagbaja represented, emphasized the commitment of the Nigerian Army towards the welfare of its personnel and the communities they serve.
The medical outreach, it is going to be free for all, irrespective of your position in the community.
The medical outreach was also an avenue to strengthen the bond between the military and civilians.
There is also a period of stock taking to know how far we have gone and what we need to do more. So for this year, the exercise is holding in Ibadan. And to give back to the society for the support they have shown the army so far.
The gesture was part of activities lined up for this year's Army Day celebration with the theme Sound Administration as panacea for effective military operations in Ibadan. Oyeyinka Omole, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. Cyril, it's back to you.
A bit in sports with Ayodeji Makinde.
FIBA Africa has given the Tigers of Nigeria the last wildcard slot for the second edition of Afro-CAN Basketball Championship, scheduled to hold in Luanda, Angola this month after they lost 65 to 74 points to Cote d'Ivoire in the qualifier. The Tigers were pooled in Group B along with host Angola and West African powerhouse Mali, while Cote d'Ivoire are in the same group with Kenya and Gabon.
Sporting Lagos are going to the Nigerian Premier Football League.
Kano Pillars inched closer to gaining promotion to the Nigeria Premier League after a 2-0 victory over DMD of Maiduguri on day 2 of the Nigeria National League Super 8 playoffs in Asaba. In other matches, EFCCFC beat Katsina United 2-1, while Heartland of Owerri secured a 1-0 victory over FC1 Rockets. In another development, England and Liverpool legend Steven Gerrard has been announced as the new manager of Saudi Arabia Pro League side, Al Ettifaq. The 43-year-old has the mandate from the billionaire football club to build a team of stars and challenge for the trophy in what will be his third managerial stint. In tennis, world number 2 Novak Djokovic powered into the second round of Wimbledon after a 6-3, 6-3, 7-6 victory over Argentine Pedro Cachin. On a day play was halted for over 80 minutes at center court due to rainfall. The 36-year-old, who is aiming for an 8th title at the All England Lawn Tennis Club, next plays American Brandon Nakashima, who endured a 5-set encounter against Jordan Thompson. In the women's category, top seed Iga Swiatek secured an emphatic 6-1, 6-3 victory against China's Zhou Lin. The French Open and US Open champion remains bookmakers' favorites at the grass court events. Also, Victoria Azarenka, Caroline Garcia and Jessica Pegula also advanced on the first day of the championship. With sports updates, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
And that concludes Network News tonight. Well, thank you for watching. I'm Cyril Stober. Good night.